I never had much luck growing up. My early life was just one bad hand after another. My parents died in a car crash when I was 6. My grandmother passed away when I was 15. After she was gone, I was truly alone in the house. With no one to guide me, I drifted through life, planning to scrape by until high school graduation and then work dead-end jobs. My world was gray. I couldn't see a future, so why bother trying? That changed because of a soccer ball. One afternoon after school, I didn't go straight home. Going back to a cold, empty house didn't appeal to me. Passing the neighborhood park, I saw a soccer ball lying abandoned in the grass. It looked as lonely as I felt. A wave of frustration and isolation crashed over me. Without thinking, I wound up and kicked the ball as hard as I could. Crash! The sound of shattering glass tore through the quiet park. Which son of a bitch did that? Do you have any respect? A deafening roar followed. Oh crap. My heart dropped into my stomach. I panicked, but running away wasn't in my nature. I forced myself to walk over to the house and rang the doorbell, trembling. A furious middle-aged man opened the door. I kept my head down, too scared to meet his eyes. Sir, I'm so sorry. I kicked a ball by accident, and... Great. Just great. Look at my window. My daughter was sitting right there. She could have been killed. I'm really sorry. I'll pay for it. I can clean it up right now. Maybe seeing my faded, worn-out clothes softened him, or maybe it was my sincerity. He stared at me for a moment before handing me a dustpan and broom. Inside, near the broken window, a girl sat in a wheelchair. Shards of glass and a knocked-over vase littered the floor around her. She was pale, staring blankly ahead, reacting to my presence like a porcelain doll without a soul. As I swept near her, she slowly turned. I looked up and froze. You're Elena. Elena Ros, the sophomore school beauty. For the first 2 weeks of school, the whole grade had whispered about her. Rumor had it she turned down every guy who asked her out because she already liked someone. But after those 2 weeks, she vanished on extended medical leave. I never imagined it was because she had lost the use of her legs. Elena nodded slightly, then turned back to stare out the window in silence. Did you hurt your legs? I asked stupidly. They're useless. The kind that never get better, she said. It was a devastating sentence, yet she delivered it with total calm. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't mean to pry. I panicked, realizing I just poked at her deepest wound. Hey kid. Her father started to yell again, but Elena cut him off. Dad, let it go. He didn't mean it. Busy this. I'm fine. She didn't say another word, just manipulated her wheelchair to turn around and headed to her room. I watched her retreat, and something inside me stung. I wasn't the only unfortunate person in the world, but her burden seemed far heavier than mine. At least I had a healthy body. I had the right to choose my future. She was trapped in that chair forever. A thought took root in my mind. I want to do something for her. From that day on, I stopped slacking off. Every few days, I went to Elena's house to drop off class notes. At first, she was resistant, or rather, she was resistant to everything outside her own mind. I didn't care if she listened. I just sat there and explained the lessons, throwing in stories about which idiot classmate had done something embarrassing that week. I don't know how long I kept at it, but her walls remained up. Her father, Arthur, eventually dropped his guard, sometimes even trusting me to watch over Elena while he worked late. One evening, after we ate, I pushed her wheelchair through the neighborhood park for some fresh air. She suddenly spoke, her voice barely a whisper. Today, that thing about force decomposition in physics. I didn't quite get it. My heart skipped a beat. From then on, everything changed. She started asking questions. She'd crack a tiny smile when I told jokes about school. When Arthur was busy, I'd use my limited cooking skills to make us dinner. We started talking about everything, from studies to life, from reality to dreams. Elena's desolate spirit began to show signs of life, watered by my persistence. And because of her, I found a reason to fight. Work a dead-end job after high school? You gotta be kidding me. I was going to college. I wanted to carve out a slice of hope for Elena. I wanted to protect that light in her eyes. For 3 years, I gave it everything I had. Elena worked hard too. Her grades soared, and she started reconnecting with her passions. She loved art and constantly sketched clothing designs. Caleb, do you think this dress looks good? She asked one day, eyes shining. I want to be a fashion designer. I want to make beautiful things. It's beautiful. Seriously, I said, looking at the intricate sketch. You're going to be an amazing designer. She nodded, filled with anticipation. I'll work hard. Someday, I'll design clothes for you. Deal. I'll be waiting. After the SATs and finals, my grades were stellar. I had a shot at the AI program at Tech University. I knew general medicine might not be enough. I needed a new approach, perhaps robotics or neural interfacing, to help Elena stand again. The day the acceptance letter arrived, I ran straight to her house. Elena, I got in. She looked at the letter, her face lighting up. Caleb, that's amazing. I knew you could do it. She was smiling, but tears were streaming down her face. Tears of joy for me. It's all because of you, I said seriously. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have had the drive. Elena, thank you. Why thank me? She wiped her eyes. We're friends. We're supposed to support each other. Looking at her radiant smile, the feeling I'd been harboring exploded. I wanted to be with her. Forever. I took a deep breath. Elena, I love you. Over these last few years, I've fallen for you. I want to be with you. I want to take care of you for the rest of my life. Elena froze, her eyes wide. Silence stretched between us. My palms were sweating. I was terrified she'd say no. Finally, her lips trembled. But I can't walk. I can't even stand. I might never. I don't give a damn about that. I interrupted. She looked at me, stunned. Even if you never stand up, even if we can't have kids, I still want to be with you. Forever. Tears rolled down her cheeks. She nodded vigorously, sobbing. Caleb Stone, I want to be your girlfriend too. I want to be your wife. But, no buts. As long as you're willing, I will work my hardest to change this messed up life. She cried for a long time that day, letting out years of suppressed pain. I sat beside her, holding her hand. Through her broken sobs, I finally learned the truth about what happened to her. With Arthur's support, I finished my master's and Ph.D., focusing on AI applications in medicine. After graduation, I joined a top tech firm in Seattle. Elena worked just as hard, becoming a professional fashion designer after college. We bought a house and had a simple wedding. My research focused on artificial neurons, decoding brain signals to bypass damaged pathways and bridge them to healthy nerves. Countless all-nighters, countless failures. The only thing keeping me going was the memory of her looking out that window, the fleeting longing to run and walk. When I was 27, we had a breakthrough. Elena was the first volunteer. The surgery was a success. The neural pathways in her lower back, dormant for 10 years, reconnected. Her muscles had atrophied, so she needed a powered exoskeleton to help her stand, but the plan was to gradually reduce the assist level until she recovered completely. Honey, what are you thinking about? Don't you trust me? Elena's voice snapped me back to the present. I looked at her. Even though she was still rehabbing with the exoskeleton, she moved like anyone else. The existence of Julian Thorne was something Elena told me about after I first confessed to her. They were childhood sweethearts. Elena said Julian's family struck gold in business later on. Julian used to brag that she'd never have to work, that she could just be a trophy wife. But a senseless tragedy ruined everything. One day, Elena and her mother were walking back from the grocery store. 3 thugs blocked them in an alley. The leader grabbed Elena, trying to drag her into the shadows. Her mother fought like a lioness to stop them. Someone swung a bat. Thud! Her mother collapsed with a groan. But she didn't give up. She bit the thug's leg hard. Bitch, you want to die? The thug went berserk, smashing the bat into her mother's head. Elena didn't remember much after that. In the chaos, her spine was crushed. She blacked out. The killers vanished. Elena lost her mother forever and lost her legs. Julian's family didn't say a word. They liquidated their assets, got visas, and fled the country immediately. They settled in Canada and never came back. I snapped out of my thoughts and stroked Elena's hair. You're my wife. Of course I trust you, but the timing of his return feels off. Elena's eyes flashed with disgust. If his family had just been honest back then, said they didn't want a crippled daughter-in-law, I would have understood. The childhood engagement was just talk anyway. Not every man can love me like you do. But Julian's tone just now? How can he have the nerve to act like nothing happened? I thought for a moment. Babe, I think you should go. I'll go with you. Let's see what this guy is actually planning. You think? Elena looked thoughtful. If they could abandon you so easily back then, coming back now means there's profit involved, I reasoned. I bet it has to do with the developer buyout of your old family home. Elena slapped her forehead. Damn, that scumbag. He must have heard about it from his grandmother, who stayed behind. I nodded. It was the only logical explanation. The neighborhood was being redeveloped. Between the compensation cash and the new property allocation, Elena's old house was worth about $5 million. When Julian's family fled, they sold their house, but rented a small room in the village for Julian's grandmother. I laughed coldly. They must be regretting leaving that gold mine behind. Elena, you really came to pick me up. Julian flashed a sunny, practiced smile the moment he saw her. I can't believe it. Your legs really healed. Heaven helps the worthy, huh? He stepped forward, arms open for a hug, treating me like I was invisible. I size him up. About 6 feet tall, slick back hair, wearing a suit that was trying too hard. He had a bad boy smirk that probably worked in high school. Elena took a step back. Sorry, Julian, we aren't that close. If you have business, say it. And my legs didn't heal because of heaven. It was all my husband. Julian's arms froze in midair. A flash of embarrassment crossed his face. Sorry, force of habit. It's a common greeting abroad. I forgot myself. He then acted as if he just noticed me. Elena, this gentleman is Caleb Stone, Elena's husband. I grab Elena by the waist, pulling her close. And please don't call my wife Elena so casually. It's inappropriate. Julian didn't miss a beat. He extended a hand toward me. Thanks for taking care of my Elena all these years, Caleb, whatever. But now that I'm back, you won't need to worry about her anymore. I kept one hand on Elena and the other in my pocket, ignoring his hand. Taking care of my wife is my job. It has nothing to do with you. And what do you mean you're Elena? She has nothing to do with your family. Julian scratched his head, feigning innocence. Sorry, old habits. We were so close, you know. Played in the mud together, naked as kids. Feels like yesterday. Rage spiked in my chest. I was about to deck him when Elena grabbed my hand. She unscrewed the cap of her soda bottle and splashed the contents right into Julian's face. What the hell? Julian hadn't expected her to humiliate him in public. Did I say something wrong? He sputtered, wiping his face. You used to say you'd never marry anyone but me. Bullshit. Elena spot. I don't know how you sleep at night. Yes, I had a crush on you when we were kids. But the moment my life fell apart, your entire family vanished. You chose to abandon us. Where do you get the nerve to talk about old times? People in the arrivals hall were starting to stare and whisper. Look at him, dressed like a gentleman, but acting like trash. Yeah, I heard that. Talking about another man's wife like that? Disgusting. Julian's face cycled through shades of red and white. He switched tactics instantly, putting on a wounded, teary-eyed expression. Elena, let me explain. We had no choice. My dad's company was being targeted by competitors. If we stayed, we were dead. My parents were forced to. Stop. Elena cut off his performance. I don't care about your excuses. I don't want to talk about the past. Since you have no actual business with me, goodbye. Don't call me Elena, and don't contact us again. My husband gets jealous. She linked her arm through mine, and we walked away fast. I glanced back and caught the expression on his face before he masked it. Pure, twisted malice. He glared at me and mouthed. Just you wait. I smirked and mouthed back. Bring it on. Back home. Elena kicked off her shoes and threw herself onto the sofa, fuming. I have never seen such a shameless human being. I smiled and poured her a cup of tea. Well, you saw one today. Elena cracked asmile. After a moment, she asked, seriously, did you notice anything? I rubbed my chin. The Thorne family business in Canada isn't doing well. He's wearing designer labels, but they're all seasons old. Elena nodded. So the buyout money theory is looking solid. These people have no bottom line. I think the money is part of it, I said, frowning. But something feels deeper. There's a piece of the puzzle missing from 12 years ago, and I don't think he's going to give up this easily. Elena snuggled up to me. Honey, you have to protect me. I picked her up and set her on my lap, whispering in her ear, don't worry, I'm never letting go of your hand. Elena melted in my arms. Sure enough, a few days later, Elena got another call. This time, it wasn't Julian, but his grandmother. Elena put it on speaker. Dear, can you come see me? The old woman's voice was weak and raspy. Elena's expression softened. Grandma Thorne, what's wrong? The voice on the phone sighed. I have pancreatic cancer. Diagnosed last month. I just want to see you one last time. Elena didn't agree immediately. She hung up, but I could tell she was conflicted. When I was little, Grandma Thorne was good to me, she explained. My parents were busy, so she watched me a lot. When the Thornes fled to Canada, they left her behind. She cursed her unfilial son and grandson. And back when I needed treatment money, she secretly slipped my dad $5,000. So you want to go? I asked calmly. Elena hesitated, then nodded. I don't believe in coincidences, I said. She gets sick right when he returns? First the nostalgia card, now the pity card. You might be right, Elena said. But what if it's true? I smiled. Standard procedure. I go with you. She didn't say come alone. She giggled. Sometimes I feel like we're conjoined twins. I leaned in. Conjoined is good. Tonight you're on top. She turned bright red and punched my chest lightly. Pervert. Grandma Thorne's rental was near Elena's old family home. The old woman looked terrible, gray skin, lifeless, lying in a small bed. And of course, Julian stood by her side, looking mournfully at his grandmother. Grandma, I'm here. Elena ignored Julian completely. Grandma Thorne looked surprised to see me. Her eyes darted away as she whispered, Elena, sit. Who is this young man? Grandma, I'm married. Remember? You came to our wedding. This is my husband. Oh, right. I'm old, I forget things. Young man, can I speak to Elena alone? Elena froned. Grandma, my husband and I keep no secrets. Anything you have to say, you can say in front of him. I waved my hand. It's okay, babe. Chat with her. But, I pointed at Julian. Can Mr. Thorne step out? Let's have a man-to-man talk. Julian shrugged, gave Elena a look, and followed me out. The second the door closed, Julian's mask dropped. He sneered. Nice moves. You got her wrapped around your finger. What kind of spell did you put on her? I popped a piece of gum into my mouth. I won her heart by being there for 12 years. Unlike someone who cut and ran the second things got tough. That hit a nerve. He grabbed my collar, face twisting. Don't get cocky. She's just confused. She belongs to me, and she'll come back to me eventually. I doubt it. I pried his fingers off and shoved him back, straightening my shirt. You can't hurt us. The only person who can hurt me is her, and vice versa. Your plan is just to drive a wedge between us. What is this, a soap opera? You. Julian flushed with anger. I won't let you win. You're just a parentless stray. I won't lose to you. POW. I punched him square in the jaw, then kicked him in the stomach. At that exact moment, the bedroom door flew open. Elena stormed out, ignoring the old woman calling after her. Julian saw her and instantly threw himself to the ground, clutching his face. I just wanted to say hi. Elena, tell him to stop. I don't want to ruin your marriage. I almost laughed. The performance was so bad it was nauseating. He clearly thought there were no cameras in this old hallway. Elena didn't even look at him. She stepped right over his hand to get to me. Caleb, are you okay? Julian let out a genuine yelp as her heel dug into his fingers. Elena, he gasped, pale with pain. Do you really care nothing for our past? You won't even play along to grant my dying grandmother her final wish? You forgot how much she loved you. Elena turned, her eyes ice cold. I thought your grandmother was a decent person. Turns out she's just as manipulative as the rest of you. Your whole family is rotten. She grabbed my hand. Let's go. Stop. Julian dropped the act. Elena Ros, aren't you afraid I'll sue him for assault? You don't want your husband to have a criminal record, do you? Elena Lauged. Julian thought she was breaking. Instead, she slapped him across the face so hard his head snapped to the side. You hit me? You hit me for him. Julian touched his split lip, eyes venomous. Elena pulled a wet wipe from her purse, scrubbed her hand, and threw the wipe at his feet. You sue it, Isue. I'll claim you tried to sexually assault me, and my husband acted in self-defense. No cameras here. Who do you think the cops will believe? Julian looked like he'd swallowed a fly. We turned and left the toxic air of that house behind. In the car, Elena told me what the grandmother had said. She was grinding her teeth. I felt bad for her. Then she told me I should divorce you. Let me guess, I said. She wants to see her grandson married before she dies? Her dying wish? Elena looked shocked. How did you know? She literally asked me to marry Julian. I chuckled. I read a trashy novel with that exact plot yesterday. The heroine fakes a marriage to her ex to satisfy the dying wish of the ex's dad. I think the author was named So Cute or something. It almost made me puke. Elena snorted. Who does that? Asking a married woman to fake marry? Do they think I'm an idiot? It confirms one thing, I said. The Thorne family is desperate. Elena's eyes narrowed. I'm hiring a private investigator. I want to know exactly how they've been living in Canada. I patted her head. Do it. And I'm hiring you a female bodyguard, just in case. She kissed my cheek. You're the best. Tonight, I'm wearing that new outfit. I shook my head, laughing. A few days later, the PI sent the first report. The detective says back then, the Thorne family was trying to partner with the Sterling Group in New York. Everyone knew Julian was chasing Vanessa Sterling, the heiress. I frowned. So why didn't he marry her? Why did they run to Canada instead of merging with the Sterlings? That's the weird part, Elena said. They left like they were escaping a disaster. And Julian has been back before. A year ago, he went to New York to find Vanessa, but security threw him out. He went back to Canada with his tail between his legs. So, my wife is the backup plan? Elena pinched my arm. Ow, mercy, she huffed. Wait for more info. I bet their company is bankrupt. They need a cash infusion. I agreed, but the events of 12 years ago still nagged at me. Have a detective look into the thugs who attacked you, I said seriously. Check if their families suddenly came into money back then. Elena nodded grimly. Before the detective could report back, Elena got an invitation to a high school reunion. Is this a trap? She asked. I was barely there. I don't talk to these people. I'll drive you, I said, since we went to the same high school. It says girls' night only for our class. Okay, here's the plan. I pulled out a necklace with a large diamond pendant. Wear this, and if anything happens. Saturday evening. Elena entered the venue, the diamond pendant sparkling around her neck. Wow, still the school beauty. You look amazing. Thanks. My husband takes good care of me, Elena replied politely. Pfft, it's just your genetics. What does he have to do with it? The speaker was Jessica Vance, a former classmate who had always been jealous of Elena. You're such an inspiration, Jessica gushed fake sweetly. I can't believe you stood up again. I'm so moved. It was my husband's research, Elena said coolly. Why do you keep bringing him up? Jessica rolled her eyes. He was a loser in high school. Not even handsome. Julian is back, you know. He was way better. Watch your mouth, Elena snapped. My husband is 10 times the man Julian is. Jessica's expression faltered. Then she softened her tone. I'm just looking out for you, sister. You deserve the best. To break the tension, another classmate opened a bottle of wine. Let's drink. I can't drink alcohol, Elena declined. Just orange juice for me. The classmate poured her a glass of Tropicana. Soon, the room was buzzing with chatter. Jessica, slightly tipsy, slurred, Listen, Elena, you need to get your husband's assets in your name, then dump him. Look at me. 2 divorces, walked away with $1 million and a condo each time. I'm on my 3rd husband now. That simp wants kids. I'm gonna squeeze him dry and toss him like trash. That's a bit much, someone whispered. Jessica laughed. That's what men are for. Be an independent woman. She turned to Elena. You're hotter than me. Why stick with the nerd? He's probably just with you for the buyout money. Hire a girl to seduce him, get evidence, and make him leave with nothing. Elena slammed her hand on the table. Shut up. I'm leaving. I don't know you people. Hey, don't be like that. I'm just being honest. Jessica giggled, grabbing Elena's arm. Elena tried to grab a plate to smash into Jessica's face, but her hand slipped. Clatter. She shook her head. Her vision was blurring. Panic. She grabbed her bag to leave. Don't go yet. Jessica wouldn't let go. Let me go. Elena's limbs felt like lead. Oh no, did you get drunk on juice? Jessica feigned shock. I'll get a room upstairs for you to rest. She dragged Elena out of the room. The moment she opened the door, she met my fist. Crack. I punched her square in the nose. Caleb, help. Elena collapsed into me. I caught her, my heart breaking at her helpless state. You drugged her? I roared. Caleb Stone, you scumbag. You hit a woman. I'll sue you. Jessica shrieked, blood pouring from her nose. You call yourself human. You touch my wife, you're dead. Bullshit. Jessica screamed. She's drunk. I was helping her. Save it for the cops. A blood test will prove everything. I scanned the room. If anyone else was involved, I will find out, and I will destroy you. The other classmates backed away, terrified. We didn't know. It was all Jessica. I ripped the pendant off Elena's neck. See this? Microcamera. Live feed to my phone. Why do you think I got here so fast? I knew exactly what was happening. Julian was upstairs in room 304, waiting for Jessica to deliver the package. Jessica panicked. She snatched the pendant and smashed it on the floor. Ilawa darkoli. Videos in the cloud, idiot. I heard every word you said. Your husband is going to love hearing about your strategy. You delete it. Jessica collapsed, sobbing. It wasn't me. It was Julian. He's in room 304. Please don't tell my husband. I lied about the cloud. I grinned, but the police officers outside heard everything. My bodyguards and 2 officers stepped in. You bastard. Jessica screamed. Actually, I added, I was live streaming. So, the whole internet heard you. I picked up Elena and walked out, leaving Jessica screaming in the background. I left the cleanup to the professionals. The police arrested Julian in room 304 and dragged him and a despairing Jessica away. I took Elena to the hospital. It was just a strong muscle relaxant. She'd be fine in an hour. Son of a bitch. Arthur slammed his hand on the table when he heard. Dad, calm down. I'm okay, Elena said weakly. I'm terrified. Arthur said, it's happening again. Dad, listen. I laid out the facts. Julian cracked under questioning. We have footage of them meeting. He bought the drugs. He was trying to ruin Elena's reputation to force a divorce. I have new info from the PI. I continued, sliding a file across the table. I think the attack 12 years ago was a hit job. What? Arthur and Elena gasped. The Thorns wanted to merge with the Sterlings. Elena was an obstacle. They didn't want to look bad by breaking the engagement, so they hired thugs to ruin her reputation. A sex scandal would void the marriage contract. Arthur stood up, shaking with rage. They killed my wife for a business deal. I think the murder was an accident, I said grimly. Mom fought back too hard. They panicked. That's why the Thorns fled the country so fast. This time, they wanted the buyout money. They tried to set up a situation where I'd divorce Elena, leaving her vulnerable. Elena looked up, eyes burning. I will make them pay. Don't worry, I said. The PI found out they are broke, but we need the police for the rest. Arthur pulled out his phone. I'm making calls. Continued/epilogue. Days later, Julian's parents flew back to beg for mercy. Arthur greeted them with a bucket of dirty mop water. When emotional blackmail didn't work, Julian's father tried bribery. The police were waiting. The investigation into the 12-year-old cold case was reopened. The police tracked the families of the three thugs. They had all come into money back then. A shell company connected to the Thorn family's lawyer had paid them. Faced with the evidence, Julian's father broke. The truth came out. The thugs had been smuggled out of the country by the Thorns, but their boat sank in a storm. No survivors. Whether it was nature or a loose-end cleanup, no one knows. Julian was sentenced to prison for attempted sexual assault. Jessica went down as an accomplice. Julian's father got life for conspiracy and murder. The Thorn family was ruined. His mother ended up on the streets. Grandma Thorn died of shock before the trial started. With the dust settled, Elena cried in my arms. Mom, we finally got justice. It's over, I whispered. Now we live our lives. She wiped her tears and smiled. You know, I think this house is too quiet. Since I'm recovered, maybe we should work on a baby. I grinned. Oh, really? Don't beg for mercy later. I picked her up and carried her to the bedroom. Epilogue. We had a daughter. No switched at birth drama. No weird interns or secretaries. No study adopted siblings. We hired no live-in staff to cause drama. Just us. Elena and I grew old together, happy and at peace. Story complete.